Identity tutorials usually begin with a person signing in, but autonomous software changes the starting point. An agent can read files and call APIs while editing code or triggering business actions. So who is signing in when no human is touching the keyboard? The first distinction is simple. Human identity represents a person, while machine identity represents software. That machine may be an application or service running as a script, container, pipeline, robot, or agent. This video is sponsored by Tredge1 at one.tredge.net. Tredge1 presents one workspace for writing and coding plus research creation and file analysis. Its agentic access message emphasizes real project work while the user reviews and remains in control. That review-first idea leads directly to our security question: what identity should an agent receive? On February 5, 2026, Gartner named Identity and Access Management adapts to AI agents a top cybersecurity trend. Gartner highlighted identity registration and governance, plus credential automation and policy-driven authorization for machine actors. The concern is practical because agents operate faster than people and can cross many systems. Start with authentication. It proves which principal is presenting a credential. For a human, that proof might include a password, passkey device, and multi-factor challenge. For software, the proof should belong to the workload rather than a nearby employee. Authorization comes next. It limits what that authenticated agent may actually do. Accountability closes the loop by preserving who delegated authority and what the agent executed. Give every agent a unique identity instead of hiding many actors behind one reusable credential. A service account is a non-human user intended for workloads that access resources without end-user involvement. But service accounts are one implementation of machine identity rather than the entire category. A shared service account erases boundaries because unrelated jobs appear to be the same actor. Excess privileges make that weakness worse by turning one stolen credential into broad access. Workload identity assigns identity directly to software such as an application, service, script, or container. The identity should follow the workload across deployments without pretending to be a person. Managed identities can remove developer handling of credentials and let the platform issue them. Federated identity lets trusted environments exchange evidence for access instead of storing permanent keys. The system verifies runtime context before issuing credentials to the specific workload that requested them. No secret needs to sit inside source code, a container image, or a configuration file. Prefer short-lived access tokens that expire automatically after the agent completes a limited task. Short lifetimes shrink the useful window for anyone who steals or accidentally exposes a token. Lifetime alone is not enough because a brief token can still carry excessive power. Scope the token to the exact actions, resources, environment, and audience the agent needs. A deployment agent might read one repository and update one test environment for 10 minutes. If a long-lived key is unavoidable, treat it as temporary debt rather than permanent architecture. Credential rotation means creating a replacement, moving workloads safely, and invalidating the old key. Rotation only works when teams verify that the replaced credential truly stops authenticating. Practice emergency revocation so a suspected compromise does not become an improvised midnight procedure. Maintain an inventory of every agent identity, credential, trust relationship, and reachable resource. Assign a human owner and business purpose plus creation, review, and expiration dates. Disable the identity when the workload retires, changes owners, or no longer needs access. Least privilege means granting the smallest useful permission set and nothing merely convenient. Separate an agent's ability to propose an action from its ability to execute that action. For dangerous actions, insert an approval gate that pauses execution until an authorized human responds. High-impact examples include sending email, changing databases, executing code, spending funds, or altering critical memory. The approval screen should show the exact action, target, scope, cost, and likely consequences. Log the human decision with time, identity, context, and the approved version of the action. A rejection should stop execution cleanly and remain visible in the same audit trail. Now ask the hardest question: which human actually authorized this agent to act? Preserve separate identities for the human principal, the agent actor, and every downstream service. OAuth token exchange can carry an ACT claim that identifies the delegated actor. Nested ACT claims can represent delegation history when one actor authorizes another actor. A service account name in one log may not reveal the person or application behind it. Correlate identity, provider, agent, application approval pipeline, and resource logs using shared event identifiers. Each audit event should record principal actor scope, proposed action, decision, execution, and result. Then investigators can reconstruct intent, delegation, approval, and outcome without guessing from a generic account. NIST February 2026 document is a concept paper that highlights these unresolved identity and authorization needs. Build the program in order: inventory, identity, short tokens, least privilege approvals, and complete delegation logs. The core rule is simple: authenticate the agent, constrain its authority, and preserve the authorizing human. If this was useful, please like, share, comment, and subscribe so more builders can find it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.